I just had to reminisce on the 2017-18 season. It was pretty damn awesome. What's up, Rich Squad guys? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button and click the little bell to make sure you never miss another one of my videos. As you can tell from the title, I'll be giving you my 2018-19 English Premier League 20-1 predictions. I'm gonna give you my unbiased opinion of who I think are gonna finish in the relegation spots all the way up to the European places and of course the champions. But before we get into that, let's do a quick recap of what went down last season. Manchester City won the title with a record-breaking 100 points, while their rival Manchester United placed second with 81. We saw Tottenham Hotspur coming in third, while Liverpool placed fourth to round off the Champions League places. Last season's defending champions Chelsea placed fifth, while Arsenal had another poor season, finishing 6th. Coming in at 7th as the most improved side in the league was Burnley, and coming in at 8th was Everton. The 2015-16 champions Leicester City placed 9th, while the newly promoted team Newcastle United rounded off the 10th position. Crystal Palace astonishingly finished at 11th, while Bournemouth placed 12th, and West Ham at unlucky 13th. Watford placed 14th, and newly promoted side Brighton, Hove and Albion at 15th. Another promoted side, Huddersfield Town, also survived the drop at 16th, while Southampton at 17th rounds off the teams from last season returning to the top flight. Swansea, Stoke and West Brom were all relegated, making room at the top for Wolverhampton Wanderers, Cardiff City and Fulham. So now that we know the 20 teams participating in the 2018-19 English Premier League season, it's time for me to give my 20th to first place predictions. So guys, of course we must start from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
So coming in at 20th in the first relegation spot is the newly promoted team Cardiff City. They added the likes of Josh Murphy and Bobby Reed to their attack. But Neil Warnock's team will be hoping that players like Kenneth Zaha, Julia Hoylett, and Iceland international Aaron Gunnarsson proves me wrong. But nothing against Cardiff City, I just don't think they're gonna stay up in this highly competitive Premier League season. Last season was really competitive as well. That's why we saw the likes of West Brom, Stoke City, Swansea all getting relegated, and the newly promoted teams in Brighton, Huddersfield Town and Newcastle staying up. And even though that Cardiff City is a newly promoted team, I don't think that trend will continue in the 2018-19 season. That team just doesn't look like it's gonna compete this season at all. Coming in at 19th is AFC Bournemouth. Eddie Howe's team has survived the last 3 seasons since their promotion, but I don't think they have done enough business in the transfer market to strengthen their team to compete in a league that's becoming more and more competitive by the season. So buy Eddie and buy Bournemouth. No disrespect to Bournemouth at all, but when you look at their squad, it just doesn't look like a squad that's gonna stay up this season at all. Like, if you're gonna have old man Jermaine Defoe as your main man and Asmir Begovic as your #1 goalkeeper, that spells a lot of trouble. Coming in the final relegation spot, I think it's gonna be Watford. Another team who has endured 3 consecutive seasons in the top flight have seen their share of managerial problems. Watford has flirted with relegation for the past 2 seasons, and the fact that they have sold Richarlison to Everton and sent Andre Carrillo, a player who looked really good at the World Cup, out on loan is sending a clear message of non-intent. Is Javi Gracia gonna work some magic with this Watford team? Are we gonna see players like Troy Deeney and Gerard Deulofeu dazzle this season? We will just have to wait and see, but I think Watford are gonna get relegated. So let's move into the safe zone, the teams that will survive the drop for the 2018-19 season. Coming in at 17th is Huddersfield Town. Yes, Huddersfield Town, they survived the drop, like barely survived the drop last season, and the Premier League new boys, I think, are gonna survive. Barely survive again. Let me put that word in there, barely survive again. They have done some really good business in the current summer transfer window, bringing in the likes of Eric Durham, Terence Congolo, Ramadan Sobhi and Hada Janai. Plus, with the expertise of manager David Wagner, I don't think Huddersfield is gonna get relegated. They're gonna just survive the drop once again. Coming in at 16th is another team who also survived the drop last season, and that's Brighton, Hove, and Albion. They have done some really good business in the current summer transfer window, bringing in the likes of highly talented Iranian international Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh, Nigerian international Leon Balogun, and Romanian international Florin Andone, just to name a few. Chris Hughton was able to keep the Seagulls up last season, and I think he will do it once again. Coming in at 15th is newly promoted side Fulham. Back in the Premier League after a very exciting last season in the Championship, their manager Slavica Jokanovic will be hoping that Ryan Sessegnon have another great season. If he stays, of course, I think he will stay. He should stay. With highly talented players like Tom Kearney in their ranks, the manager Slavica Jokanovic has roped in the likes of Andre Schürrle, Jean-Michel Seri from Nice, Alfie Mawson from Swansea City, and they have locked down Alexander Mitrovic from Newcastle on a permanent deal. With their attacking style of play, I think Fulham is definitely going to compete and they're going to stay up. Coming in at 14th, I think it's going to be Crystal Palace. That's a very respectable position for a team who lost their first 7 matches last season under manager Frank de Boer. After he was sacked, Roy Hodgson was roped in and he worked wonders with the team. Crystal Palace have bolstered their attack with the signing of the young German Max Meyer on a free transfer and the acquisition of former West Ham United player Cheikhou Kouyaté. And with guys like Christian Benteke, yes, I'm saying Benteke, Patrick Van Aanholt, and Wilfried Zaha at the club, if he stays and stays fit, I think Crystal Palace will be okay. They will have just an okay season, finishing at 14th. Coming in at unlucky number 13th, I think it's gonna be Southampton. They barely, and I mean barely, survived the drop last season. Mark Hughes will be hoping to rebuild the mess left by him by former manager Maurizio Pellegrino. Usually Southampton would be that team that finishes in the back end of the top half of the English Premier League table, but last season was just messy. With Dusan Tadic moving on, Southampton have acquired the services of the highly talented Norwegian international Mohamed Elyounoussi. They have also roped in the gigantic Danish defender Yannick Vestergaard from Borussia Mönchengladbach. The Saints are basically looking to get back to business, and I think they're gonna survive the drop. Coming in at 12th, I think it's gonna be Burnley. After gaining promotion to the Premier League in the 2016-17 season and placing 17th, they were the most improved team last season, jumping 9 spots to 7th. Like, that's awesome. They're currently taking part in Europa League qualifications and haven't made any signings at all. If they do qualify for the Europa League, I think their squad of 24 will be stretched a little bit too far, and that's why they will drop 5 places to 12th. But I think they will survive. I think with a manager like Sean Dyche working his magic, I think they will survive and they will be just okay. Remember, there's always the winter transfer window as well. I think Burnley will have another solid season. Coming in at 11th, I think it's gonna be Newcastle United. After winning the championship and gaining promotion back to the Premier League, Rafa Benitez's side finished 10th last season. With pretty much the same squad from last season, the Magpies have added the Asian duo of Ki Sung-yeong and Yoshinori Muto, and even with their lack of big spending, I think Newcastle United will have another stellar season. So now for my top 10. Coming in at 10th, I think it's gonna be Leicester City. The 2015-16 champions finished 9th last season. The Foxes will be without the services of their starman Riyad Mahrez, who have now moved on to Manchester City, and they haven't signed anyone as yet to replace him, even though they have been linked with various players. But with the likes of Jamie Vardy, Demarai Gray, Wilfried Ndidi, Kasper Schmeichel, and with the acquisition of Johnny Evans and Ricardo Pereira, I think Claude Puel's side will have another season just like last and come in 10th. Coming in at 9th, I think it's gonna be Everton. Yes, Everton is gonna finish 1 place ahead of Leicester City again. With Marco Silva finally getting the job that distracted him at Watford a few months ago, the Toffees will finish 1 place less than last season. With the English legend Wayne Rooney moving to the MLS in the off-season, Everton have acquired the services of Richarlison from Watford for £50 million. Yes, they paid £50 million for a 21-year-old player who haven't yet proven himself in the Premier League, so he better come freaking good this season. But I think with a very intelligent manager in Marco Silva and a very solid roster, Everton could actually be one of the surprise teams of the season. Coming in at 8, I think is going to be West Ham United. They have hired the former Premier League winning manager Emmanuel Pellegrini. He used to be the manager of Manchester City, if you don't know it. West Ham United have done a lot of big spending in this current summer transfer window to bolster their squad, and I expect them to do some more business before the transfer window closes. They have brought in the likes of Ukrainian international Andriy Yarmolenko, Polish international Lukas Fabianski, Issa Diop, Felipe Anderson, and Jack Wilshere on a free, just to name a few. After having a very torrid time last season under David Moyes and with their fans threatening mutiny, I think West Ham United have done a very good job to keep things under control. And with their team looking much better, I think the Hammers will be one of the most improved teams in the Premier League this season. Coming in at number 7 are the new boys Wolverhampton Wanderers, a team on the up. This team seems to be a Portuguese B team under manager Nuno Santo. After winning the championship and gaining promotion to the Premier League, I think Wolverhampton Wanderers will once again impress. Portuguese players to watch includes Ruben Neves, Diego Jota, Rui Patricio, João Moutinho, and Ivan Cavaleiro. Wolves are no slouches. They can definitely surprise. They could definitely finish in a top 6 position, but for now, I have them at 7th. And now for the top 6. The top 6, the big 6, the big 6, the big 6. And now for the 6th position. I think it's gonna be Arsenal once again. Even with their longtime manager Arsene Wenger leaving and with the acquisition of Unai Emery, Arsenal will have another disappointing season. The fans are going to be disappointed. Arsenal Fan TV is going to be a lot of fun again. But I might be wrong. With the acquisition of Lucas Torreira, Stefan Lichtsteiner, Bernd Leno, just to name a few, to add to the likes of Alexandre Lacazette, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Mesut Ozil, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Arsenal could just impress. But still, I don't think they're going to finish above 6th. And the fact that they have to play Europa League football as well, Arsenal fans are saying that they are the favorites to win the Europa League since Unai Emery have done it 3 times in a row with Sevilla. So Arsenal, you got to get your priorities straight. You got to focus on the Premier League, or else you might finish lower than 6th. Coming in at 5th, I think it's gonna be, drum rolls, Manchester United. From 2nd to 5th, I think they're gonna have a very lackluster season, and sometime during the season, Jose Mourinho will be sacked because it will be a failure if he haven't won the title at Manchester United for 3 seasons. It will be a failure. Total failure. With still no big signings made in the current summer transfer window. Oh, wait. Diego Dalot and Fred. Man United will depend on the likes of David De Gea, Alexis Sanchez, Nemanja Matic, Romelu Lukaku, and Paul Pogba if he stays to save the Red Devils from embarrassment this season. Like, if Man United is to place any higher, Jose Mourinho will have to adapt a more attacking style, a more exciting style of play. The way he sets this team up is just boring football week in, week out. Trust me, I watch the Man United games. At the time of making this video, Manchester United has been linked to so many big players. Let's just wait and see who they will sign. And by the way, Anthony Martial is out the door as well. Let's wait and see where he will end up. And now for the Champions League places. Coming in at 4th, I think it's gonna be Tottenham Hotspur. Well, they haven't really done any business so far in the current transfer window. But then again, Tottenham Hotspur never really do much business. Like, never, you know? I think that Pochettino has a stellar and deep enough squad to withstand the rigors of the Premier League, the League Cup, FA Cup, and European football this season. Plus, they have guys like Harry Kane, Dele Alli, and Moussa Sissoko. But for Tottenham, I think it's going to be business as usual. Top 4, but they're not going to win the Premier League. and they're not gonna place any lower than this. And now for third, oh my goodness, it's gonna be Liverpool, who I think are one of the top contenders to win this season's Premier League title. Honestly, I do think they're gonna contend for the title. After finishing 4th last season and reaching the finals of the Champions League only to place runners-up to Real Madrid, Jurgen Klopp is beefing up his squad for the upcoming season by signing the likes of goalkeeper Alisson Becker, utility player Fabinho, Naby Keita, and Xherdan Shaqiri. This would add to the trio of Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, and Mohamed Salah. I think that Liverpool will have another killer season, but I think they're gonna come in third, just short of the top 2. And now for the top 2. Who will win the English Premier League? When I let you know the second place team, you are gonna know who I think is gonna win the 2018-19 English Premier League title. Coming in at second place, I think it's gonna be Chelsea FC. Well, Mourinho won the Premier League with Chelsea in his second stint, and in the following season, he did horribly and got sacked. And then they brought in Antonio Conte and he won the Premier League title in his first year. But in his follow-up season, he placed 5th and they sacked him. And now they have brought in another Italian manager in Maurizio Sarri. He has placed 2nd 2 seasons in a row with Napoli. And I think he is going to continue that trend with Chelsea. Sorry, you're just not good enough to win the title, it seems. But I do think that Chelsea will challenge for the title after placing 5th last season and missing out on the Champions League. Chelsea have acquired the services of the former Napoli midfielder Jorginho, but with the summer transfer window still open at the time of making this video and Thibaut Courtois and Hazard rumored to be leaving, the Blues could be in trouble. But then again, I think the squad is deep enough, and of course they will, or let me say they should sign suitable replacements. Will there be a title race? I really don't know. Will there be a title race? Manchester City won the title by 19 points last season, and will there be a title race? Coming in at number 1 is Manchester City, and I'm being totally unbiased here. I don't see Manchester City finishing any lower than 2nd, and I'm saying 2nd because I think that one of Chelsea or Liverpool can win the title. I'm being totally realistic here. But after winning their 3rd title of the decade and reaching the quarterfinal of the Champions League and winning the League Cup, I think that Manchester City are going to follow up their 100-point season with another impressive performance. Pep Guardiola have bolstered the squad with the signing of Riyad Mahrez, but is still in the hunt for another quality midfielder. And if you have learned anything from last season or the seasons before, you will know that you need a very deep squad if you want to go deep into the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and to withstand the rigors of the Premier League. But with that said, Man City with the likes of Aguero, Sane, Jesus, Company, Edison, Mahrez, Otamendi, De Silvas, Kyle Walker, Raheem Sterling, and Kevin De Bruyne, just to name a few, will successfully for the first time defend their Premier League title. So guys, that's it for my 2018-19 English Premier League predictions. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you left your predictions in the comment section down below as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the little bell to make sure you get every one of my videos. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and until next time, peace out, Rich Squad.